Hello, we're on to our next lesson. Today we're looking at mixed factorizations. Let's go to the next slide for our strategies mind map. Okay, here are all the factorization strategies you need to know. Let's go through them one by one. So, algebraic expression, that'll be your question. So, first step, is there a common factor? If there is, take it out. Next step, if it's two terms, check for a difference to two squares. So something like x squared minus 49, which would be x minus 7, x plus 7. Three terms, that's obviously a trinomial. There's two types, simple and complex. Simple is your monic, which will have an x squared at the start. Complex is your non-monic, which will have a number in front of x squared, like 3x squared. Okay. Now, in terms of actually factorizing them, there's the sum and products, but the most important one I did show was actually the cross method. This will always work for both monic and non-monic, but there are more strategies out there. This one, I believe, is on YouTube if you look it up. I also showed you this one for a couple of examples, but for the most part, I did get through the cross method. Now, four terms. That one, you're going to check for grouping in pairs. So something like PQ plus 7P plus 3Q plus 21. That would be PQ plus 7 plus 3Q plus 7, which is P plus 3, Q plus 7. Now at this point, I would pause the video and write this all down, because this is a good summary of all factorization so far. Okay, so mixed factorizations. Please write these down. Also feel free to pause and have a go yourselves before we go through them. And always check first and foremost, is there a common factor first? Okay, have a go. Okay, let's do the first one. I believe 3 can go outside, so 3d squared minus d plus 2. Okay. This is obviously a monic trinomial. Let's draw up a cross. D squared, it's going to be d and d. Now on the right hand side, we want two numbers that multiply to give 2. But we also need to get a minus d somehow. Have a think. What could we do? Well, the only way we can get 2 is to put 2 in 1. Like so. Now we'll do the crosses. D times 2 is 2d. D times 1 is just d. 2d plus d is 3d, but that does not equal this, so this is wrong. But is there any other way we can get 2? There actually isn't, so this actually means, because this doesn't work, this can actually not be factorized. So all this can't be factorized. So can't factorize. So for question 1, believe it or not, that's my final answer. Now question 2. Take out a 5. Okay. Now, a squared plus 20. Think back to the difference of two squares. That's a plus. So can this be factorized? The answer is no. That's my final answer. Remember, side note, x squared minus 36 is x minus 6, x plus 6, but x squared plus 36 can't be factorized. So just like this, that can't be factorized. Okay. Moving on to question 3. Take out the 3. A squared minus 9. Can this be factorized? The answer is yes. It's a difference of two squares. 3, a minus 3, a plus 3. Okay, so that's my answer. All right, moving on. Here's another 4 questions, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Again, feel free to pause and have a go before I go through them. And also, look carefully. Are there any common factors you can take out each time? Okay, question 4. I believe a 4 can go outside. Equals 4. 5b squared minus 13b plus 6. So just to check, this times this, 20b squared. This times this, minus 52b, and 4 times 6, 24. This is now a non-monic trinomial, so drop across. So 5b squared, 5b and b. Now, that's a plus, this is a minus, which means these are both minus. I believe minus 2 and minus 3 should work. Let's try minus 2 down here and minus 3 up here. See what happens. 5b times minus 2 is minus 10b. b times minus 3 is minus 3b. Negative 3b plus negative 10b is minus 13b, which means this is correct. So my answers are these. So equals, that 4 is still there. I'm going to have 5b minus 3 and b minus 2. Question 5, 4 things, so grouping in pairs. So these two and these two equals d squared, d minus 1, minus 1, d minus 1 equals, remember the 4 things, so that's one bracket, that's another, so it's going to become d minus 1, d squared minus 1, but remember, this is now divided into 2 squares, so this can go again. So equals d minus 1, d minus 1, d plus 1, but then this is 2 of them, so d minus 1 squared, d plus 1. Okay, so that's question 5's answer. Question 6, like the other day, I would rearrange this so this one's first. Then factorize out the negative. This is now non-monic, so drop across. Now 24. We could do 24a and a. We could do 12a and 2a. We could do 6a and 4a. Quite a few combinations. I'm going to try 6a and 4a. So again, we're splitting this into 2 parts because this and this give us this. Now, since this last one's minus, we know one of these is minus. This needs to be plus 2a, which would mean the bigger one must be plus. So I'm going to make 1 here and minus 1 here and see what happens. Because remember, minus 1 times 1 is minus 1. So the cross, so 6a times 1 is 6a. 4a times negative 1 is negative 4a. Negative 4a plus 6a is 2a, which means this is correct. So here are my answers. So equals, that minus is still there. 6a minus 1, 4a plus 1. And that's an A, not a Q. They're both A's. Okay, so that's question 6. Now last one, question 7. Now this one's interesting. It actually has x squared and y squared, but treat it the same way. Treat it as a quadratic or trinomial and try and factorize it. But again, step 1 is a common factor. Pause the video and have a look. Okay, I believe 4 can go out. So equals 4, 3x squared minus 22xy plus 7y squared. Okay, next step. This is non-monic, so draw up a cross. Now 3x squared, that's easy to split up. That's just going to be 3x and x. Now this is minus, this is minus, this is plus, which would mean that these are both minus to make this plus. Now 7y squared, we could make it minus 7y and minus y and see what happens. So follow the cross, 3x times minus 7y is minus 21xy, minus y times x is minus xy or minus 1xy, minus 1xy, take away 21xy is minus 22xy, which means this is correct. So brackets. So final answer, so 4 still there, 3x minus y, x minus 7y. Okay, that's the end of this bit. There's some questions here, but again, keep an eye on the Google Classroom posts for exact questions as well. See you in the next video.